tell me how to tell if my baby is lying transverse?
Hopefully it is well before the doctor says the kid is coming but first.
And I'd like to know without an ultrasound.
I'd say an ultrasound is the only sure way, short of feet first.
How can I tell if he's transverse without a sonogram?
Babies literally spin in all directions early on, so it does not matter if he or she's transverse at 5 or 6 months along.
But by 30 weeks, the baby should not be transverse.
You could ask an obstetric nurse or midwife to draw a belly map.
What is that?
They feel out the baby and say that bump is the butt, that bump is the head, and what you're feeling here is not the kid kicking your kidneys, but hands punching your pelvis.
I heard you could tell the baby was transverse simply by taking measurements.
In theory, if the baby is transverse, you'll look like the football is sideways instead of up and down. However, that sort of thing can shift as the kid does.
They should be shifting to be head down.
The shape of the baby bump changes along with fluid retention and muscle tone, kid's positioning and your position. So do not assume the kid is transverse because you suddenly look a little wider than vertical one day.
But I know the kid is head down if I'm getting kicked in the diaphragm.
The kid stretches muscles by moving and wriggling. What you think is a kick could be a punch, and a double punch to the lungs may actually be a head pushing up as the feet go down.
What can I do if the baby is transverse?
Aside from scheduling a cesarean, do a forward-leaning inversion off your couch several times a day, followed by a breech tilt and pelvic floor release.
And worry about it.
Transverse birth only happens around 1 in 2,000 cases. You're way more likely to need a cesarean because the kid has a big head than the kid being transverse.
Or breech.
Breech births can be handled as a vaginal birth, though uncomfortable and more likely to need an episiotomy. Transverse pretty much cannot.
Because the beach ball only fits one way through the straw.
The baby is a bowling ball fitting through the tube one way with a lot of work, a beach ball the other way. So keep up good posture during the pregnancy, and do what the doctor says so you do not have more work to worry about.
What about the belly belt?
Only use that if the kid is actually head down to keep them there. Doctors actually recommend that if the uterine ligaments are so soft, the baby may not stay down once there.